Well, welcome Daniella to 5 to 9's first ever podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want you to start with introducing yourself, your name, what you do as your day job, and what your art is.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.
My name's Daniella Smith. I work for a construction company doing like data analysis and process improvement, workflow stuff, and I have a Bachelor of Music and voice. Singing and making music is my thing, and that's how we met too.
Yeah.
Going to school for
tell everyone what you did in grad school. So that's how we met.
Yeah. We met
the same program.
Yeah, at Northwestern. We both got our music undergrads, and then I got won an opera vocal performance, and wasn't sure I wanted to do the performing thing for like my life. I kind of wanted to have more stability, so went to Northwestern, and we met there, and it's been an interesting journey figuring out work and all that stuff. I feel like they tell you when you're a kid, like, oh, it's just going to go this route, but your 20s, I feel like you're just kind of figuring it out and getting around to the balance of work and your hobbies and stuff too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about, I guess we'll start with the day job. So how did you get to the construction company? And when you were a kid, I guess, what did you envision and how did that change and with your current trajectory?
Sure. Well, when I was a kid, I said I always wanted to be a singer. Actually, it was funny. I was going back reading my journals the other day, and like literally singer, like no matter the age. But I ended up going to school for it, and I think I learned a lot in music school, but I think that it definitely, at least, classical music school, it was a bit of a challenge for me, and like my mental, space. And I think I had some personal stuff going on at the time. And so I just decided that the performing route wasn't necessarily the way I wanted to head. And so I ended up going to Northwestern. I ended up working in law and for law firms for a few years. Realized I was like, oh, maybe I want to be a lawyer. Went to law school for a little bit. Decided that wasn't for me either. Just kind of figuring it out.
I don't think I knew that you went to law school.
It was like during the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
I was like gonna be like a night program, and like
that's cool.
Yeah, I got in. Actually, I got a full ride, and I just like I some people might think I'm a freaking idiot, but like for not continuing with it. But no, I started and was just like, this isn't what I want. Yeah. But I knew, like, I don't know, working for law firms, like I knew like whatever I wanted to do in my career, I wanted to be able to have influence. And not that you can't have like influence and like say in at a firm in the like supporting areas of it, but I really realized I was interested in like the business like mindset and business side of things. And I guess I just felt like, well, if I'm not a lawyer at a law firm, I don't think that's exactly what I want to do or like fits for me. So then I was just hunting around, like tapping into my network and talking to people in lots of different industries. And I ended up at this construction company through a lawyer that I knew who was counsel at the company. And I ended up, it's random, it's different, but I like it a lot more than, I like it a lot more than the energy of the law firm, at least like the corporate law firms that I was working at. It's like the construction and engineering folks are like very down to earth. They'll say the F word, no big deal, in the office all day. It's just, very different than the corporate experience.
So how have you found time for music during all of that? Because undergrad, right, that's what you're surrounded by. And I feel like this has changed, but I do think there has always been a misconception that majoring in music is easy when that's very much not the case. And we probably the people who are taking the most credits, balancing the music classes with your gen eds and rehearsals and I think it does translate to a lot of things with like stage presence, how to properly hold a microphone, like when I've been presenting in corporate, just like even little things like that, discipline. But that shifts when you graduate and you're like not surrounded by it if you're not pursuing it full time. So, during grad school and COVID and the law school stint and like working in law and then now construction, like how have you found time to just try to still incorporate it in your life?
Yeah. I think it fell off for a little while after school for sure.
Yeah.
Actually think it really picked back up during COVID when you and I started doing our singing stuff. Like I would come over and we just cover some Corinne Bailey Rae or Leon Bridges. I think that really like piqued my interest again. Otherwise, I mean, I was always singing, just loved to sing. So I would always, turn music on. I feel like music got me through the pandemic, just listening to like hanging out, doing puzzles in my house by myself, listening and singing along. So, but now I would say it's become a really big part of my life, like intentionally. Like I think I just really had to make the time for it. I do come home from work at the end of the day, like choosing to try to write a song or choosing to practice singing or doing those things. Or I started teaching voice lessons, which has been really fun. And yeah, just like really making the intentional choice to like do this thing that I do really enjoy and just trying to like incorporate it more into my life as opposed to feeling like, I don't know, not wanting to frame it like it's like a burden or something, but more like, oh, I would rather like be doing music or singing than maybe like watching TV. Not all the time, but like a lot of the times after work. But it has been a mental like conscious shift that I think I've had to had to do, but it's been really great. I feel rejuvenated. Like I don't feel as tired at the end of the day knowing that I get to go home and like do it. So
how did you accomplish that shift? Because I feel like, especially, when in your 20s, when you're trying to figure out work and everything else, and for people like us who majored in music and are very passionate about it, it can almost start to feel like a burden or like taking your medicine or going to the gym. Than something that's fun. So how were you able to make that shift where it actually feels like fun and rejuvenating and it's something you look forward to doing?
I mean, I think that I'm a bit fortunate or just like my life circumstances I started dating a guy who is a music producer and audio engineer. So just by that, I'm exposed a lot more often to music and like getting excited, learning about it. Like I think having the classical background, I never knew anything about microphones or like studios or anything like that. So getting to kind of just be around it more often, I think it's like going and putting yourself in spaces where people are doing this thing that you find inspiring, because then you're inevitably just going to be like inspired to be like, whoa, like, hey, they're doing that. Right. Like I could do that too. Oh, those people have full-time jobs, but they're here recording like a full album in a studio. Like, oh, like that's totally possible if you want to do it. So I think just being around that as often that I have in the past couple of years has really inspired me and just made me like, oh, I think it is possible when you see like other people doing it.
That's awesome. Well, so 5 to 9 is a group I started in Chicago for people like us who have full-time jobs, aren't necessarily pursuing their art full-time right now. Everything in between for those who might want to one day. But we've been meeting, and a lot of the common topics that come up is just like being able to share your art and finding time for it. So how do you feel people who are part of this group or want to be part of it can use it to get to like a place where you are, where it's fun, you're incorporating it in your life on a regular basis, and it's really filling up your cup at this point in your life?
Yeah. First of all, I think it's awesome that you started this group. Am I allowed to swear on this? I was going to say, I think you're such a badass. So, like,
That's
but I think that's awesome. I think showing up to the group, it can be hard with so many stuff, and I'm guilty of it too, like, especially depending on like where you're located in the city or what's going on, but definitely showing up so that you can like be inspired. It is so hard to make time, but I don't know what else to say besides like you just kind of have, it's almost, I guess I feel like maybe the mindset, what's helped me is rather than feeling like you're like taking something away, it's like focusing on what you're adding. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I'm adding, like, practicing for 15 minutes, or even that it doesn't have to be that much, because sometimes it can feel like it's so like, oh my God, how am I gonna have time for like all this stuff, and I have to make dinner, and I like, I'm trying to eat healthy, like I'm on Instagram, everyone's telling me all these things I have to do, like, how do I do anything? I think maybe not feeling like you have this pressure that it has to be like this big thing, or that you have this big output. Mm-hmm. But just, and like then getting to come to meetings like 5 to 9 and like every month sharing like, hey, I did this little thing. Oh, I wrote like half a song, or I started this piece, this picture. Like it doesn't have to be like a full product, maybe even before sharing either. Yeah. Like getting that encouragement.
That's good advice. How do you, I guess like your identity as a musician, but also, construct corporate person as well. Do you share that at work? And like, I guess, how do you balance the two?
I do, but that's new for me. Okay. I don't know. I think I used to be like a very private person at work. Yeah. Like I was kind of very much like, oh, I don't want to like mix the two. And maybe that's just because I didn't feel like I'd like found a place that I really was liking. But now at this company, it's very much, it's like family owned company. So I feel like it has that like family vibe, and people are super supportive. And and I think now I do. I share with people. People say that they want to hear it. So just trying to, even if I'm a little nervous, being like, hey, I know you said at this party last night you were interested, but I'm sending it along, sharing with people. I think like I've sung some backup for some bands recently. I don't really share about that at work, but I think like when I will release a song or when I'll have like shows, I'd love to invite my coworkers and stuff. And I think that they would be pretty supportive. So. Yeah. That's awesome. And you have that too at work. I feel like you.
Yeah. I mean, I will share. I do feel like, so I worked in nonprofit, like arts admin space. So I was around music, like right out of school more so, which I do also think helped. Or at least like part of my identity, like it made sense, musician, you're working at a music school. Sure. And then I switched to corporate and tech. There was a point where I was like, oh, like most people don't even know this about me, that I sing. Yeah. Or it would come up randomly, or I think I would just say it like, nonchalant and very casually in the conversation, and people would be like, wait, what are you doing? Yeah. You're on Spotify? Like, what are you talking about? And then I was realizing, I'm like, oh, I don't even talk about this, and not even on purpose. It just, I think if you're not, you're at work and if there's not a lot of musicians. Right. Why would you're like, I have other things to. Yeah, exactly. So, so I have to like remind myself I should probably tell people. And also my company is like, the companies I've worked for kind of all over in corporate. So like not everyone's in Chicago to invite them. Sure. But I've also been bad about, there's still a lot of Chicago friends that are here at work that I could have been inviting. But I think that's hard too. And something that comes up in the 5 to 9 meetings is like, being comfortable sharing your art, and like feeling like, if it's not, I think especially coming from like classically trained, like if it's not perfect, then you feel like you can't go on stage and do it. So like, how have you had to get over that? Because I know for me, that's been a constant battle of like excellence and perfection.
Totally. I would say the excellence and perfection, and the like, oh, do I really want to send my coworkers this song where I'm like talking about how sad I am? You know, like it's like the weird emotional thing. Yeah, vulnerable. Yeah. I guess I don't know what else to say other than, I feel scared, but I guess I pull the trigger anyways. You know, I send the email off anyways. I think, and I don't think I would do it uninvited though, you know, like to your point, it comes up in conversation. Yeah. And then I guess to not underplay it, right? Because I think sometimes we can do that. Yeah, I sing, whatever. Yeah. But it's like, actually, no, this is like a big, important piece of me. And I think if you're at a company where you're going to be there a while and you genuinely, if you care about like your coworkers truly getting to know you, like it is a big part of it. And I think people think it's cool. People definitely, you know. Yeah. That's so, but yeah, I feel like almost if someone was a musician, it would make me definitely more nervous to share. Like I almost feel like the people who don't touch it much, they're just like going to be like almost impressed or like think it's the great. Where you're like, oh, they're actually hearing. Yeah. Right. Exactly. You're like, but yeah, do you feel, I guess, I don't know if I would ever I wouldn't share like work in progress with people though.
No, and I feel like similarly to you, like, you know, being with a partner who's also a musician, it's you can just share with them and you have the privacy of your own. Right. But I feel like, if you didn't have that, I don't know. I guess no one would hear work in progress. That's case.
True. Well, that's why you have, and that's why you have the 5 to 9 group. Yeah. Then you can come bring it and get the feedback.
Yeah. So, do you feel like having a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week job helps to like fuel your creativity, or does it feel like it drains it at all? Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, now that I'm thinking of this question, I would say I do think. I guess it depends. My job actually is very creative. It's like problem solving all day, learning a lot about stuff. So I feel like I'm kind of working that muscle in a way, which I think can definitely help the creative side. Although I was just sitting in the office the other day being like, oh, I wish I could be at home, like trying to write this song that I was thinking about, you know? Yeah. So it's, I guess it depends. I mean, I guess it just depends a little bit on the day and the mood and perspective. But I don't know if I just like had the whole free time to do whatever I want, if I would all of a sudden be more creative either. Like I think I like having a little bit of the structure. Yeah. I think if I was left to my own devices, I'm not sure how much more I would do. Like maybe being in that mode all day anyways and like getting to go home. Maybe if we just didn't have to do it for 40 hours, that could be like a nice little balance. Yeah, but like you have Monday through Thursday, have a little more energy. 35-hour week, like some other countries. Yeah, have like a little more time. Yeah, but
that's fair. Well, what advice would you give? Because I feel like we're very similar with like, I went to music school also knowing like I didn't want to be a performing musician full time. Mm-hmm. And you know, I wanted to like work in the arts nonprofit space, but I made a switch, and you know, as people, like you said, in your 20s, that's kind of what you do, just figure things out like that. But what advice would you give to like a 22-year-old or 24-year-old who has, you know, either majored in a creative field or studied it or wanted to pursue it, but has now wanted to shift, and maybe there's like a bit of grieving or uncertainty? Like, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to figure that out right now?
That's a good question. I feel like I would give them the same advice that my voice teacher in college gave me, because I didn't necessarily go into music school thinking that I wasn't going to do it. I thought that I was going to go and like get my master's in voice and like go be an opera singer. And I think like between my junior and senior year, my dad had gotten cancer. And so I think that like kind of shifted my mindset on life and what I wanted. So that was a big contributing factor to why I decided, I think, to do like more practical, what felt more practical at the time. But my teacher, I remember, she just like told me, because she's like, you're young, like, and you can always come back.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, none of these decisions are forever. So it's like, if in 2 years, if in a year you're like, oh, never mind, like, oh, I know that this is what I want to do. She's like, all right, well then you audition for your master's and you go along and you do that.
Yeah.
I just think that's like a good lesson in general as like a young person to learn, like not even just for that, like, that's true. These decisions are not life altering. Actually, like, that's you can always change your mind.
Yeah, that's great. Are there any projects you're working on or anything that you want to share or promote music-wise? It's okay,
I mean, yeah, I'm recording a song right now that your husband's playing keys on. So that's going to be coming out in the next couple months. It's called We'll Be Okay. Nice. So
it's a song you wrote?
I wrote it. Yeah. Well, I wrote it with Steve Johnny Jones, my partner. I don't know yet if it'll be coming out on his channel or if I'll probably make my own. That'll be like my first real song that I'll be releasing on streaming. So that, and I sing background vocals right now with a group called Midwest Beach Club. They just put out a song, which is really cool and fun. So people want to check that out. They're great, like, if you like jazz, funk stuff, that type of music.
Very cool.
But yeah.
Okay, one little fun thing is like a lightning round of questions.
Okay.
Okay, here's the lightning round. Are you a morning or night creative?
Night.
By default.
Yeah.
Full time.
I think so. Yeah.
On the weekends,
by default.
Do you also do it at night?
No, I would say I'm more morning on the weekends. Yeah.
Okay. And then do you prefer collaborating alone or with others?
With others, for sure.
Yeah.
How about you? I want to know your answers.
It depends on what. Like, if I'm writing, like, songwriting has been my, like, thing since I was little, so that definitely alone.
Okay.
That's just, like, but, like, I have written songs with Trevor, but, like, I think it's just, like, one of those things you're like, I've just been doing this by myself. I need to just...
Yeah, that's so fair. Yeah, it's like you have your process.
Yeah, it's quicker. Like,
yeah.
But it is still fun. But I love, like, we've sung together. I love singing with other people still. Performing as a group. Mm-hmm. That's always fun.
Totally.
And then last one, do you share your work early or hide it until it's done?
I do share it early, which I know is like, I don't know. Maybe, I guess everyone's just different. I like to share it. I get excited. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like doing it.
That's
like, no, I know. Steve's not like that. He's like, don't share this demo.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Well, if you play it and you're like, well, like, this hasn't been added, and the song's not you know, you start to, like, pick it apart before someone's even heard it yet. When it's not done.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't share it with everyone. I think I like to share it early with, like, some people that I'm just like, oh, I'm excited. Like, I'm doing this. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being the first ever interviewee on 5 to 9's podcast.
Of course.
I will share all of your links so people can follow you and your music journey and reach out if they have any questions. And 5 to 9 will have our next meeting soon, so I'll share that out. And Daniella will be present, so if anyone wants to meet you and ask you more questions, they're able to do that.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
This was awesome.